So you got to keep in contact with them. In fact, Portage, why don't you come up here? You want to come up? Talk about legislative advocacy, if you would, for just a minute. He's much better at this than I am.
My name is Portage. I'm a lobbyist for the Residential Services Association of Wisconsin. I also represent a lot of other organizations in long-term care. So I work with C. Thomas Cook a lot throughout the budget session through the legislature. RSA, the one thing that we're pushing, and I know that Thomas is doing the same thing and others, is we're trying to attack this from many different prongs. And one of the prongs I'm focusing on is trying to get a message out to the legislature. Because whether it's funding to providers, which comes from MCOs, the MCOs get their money from the Department of Health Services, the Department of Health Services gets their money from the legislature. And the only way in my mind, or one of the different ways, is yes, the lawsuit is one area, and we're supporting that effort, but we also need to educate our lawmakers. And that just takes picking up the phone and meeting with those individuals. We saw Senator Rickenbach here tonight. He was listening to your stories. They were going to a different meeting, but he grabbed me and he's like, look, we need to sit down and talk about this. We need to see what's going on. That's as easy as it can be. If you folks have problems and complaints, yes, call Rock Plato, but also make sure that you're contacting your assembly representative and your state senator. Because if you get their attention, the squeaky wheel is what gets greased. That itch in your side is what gets scratched. We need to educate. We need to show them the problems. We need them to understand what's going on. Because by doing that, you're going to get their attention and hopefully build momentum to change. And the only way we're going to do that is, as Thomas is putting together these forums, the message to each one of them, yes, talk to Rock, learn more about your rights, but also make sure you're contacting the legislature and bugging the heck out of them. Because the more they learn, the more pressure they see, the more injustice they see. I haven't had a legislator yet who didn't want to get elected to do the right thing. But if they don't hear from us, and it's so quiet, then they don't know it's a problem. There's only a couple legislators. Of the 132, there's only a couple that actually understand long-term care because they live and breathe it. That other 130, they need you to help educate them. Whether you're a provider, whether you're a consumer, guardian, we need you to do that outreach. And I know that sometimes it can feel a little scary, but if you make that phone call or that email and set up an appointment, they'll call you right back or they'll come out and see you. You're going to find out they're just like you, and they probably have no idea what you're going through. And they're going to spend 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour with you. You're probably going to open up a whole different world they didn't understand. And for the association I represent, we're trying to get them to shadow our direct caregivers and spend a couple of hours in their shoes. And I think their minds are just blown because they didn't realize the difficulties and the challenges both the consumers face and the direct caregivers. So if you want to see change, we need your help. Not only with talking to Rock and going for that legal change, but we also need to educate our lawmakers because we're coming up to a very important time. Yesterday, the Department of Health Services just put in their agency budget request to the governor. Every agency is required to do that. That means the budget process has started. And the budget that the governor will introduce will be in late January. That budget will determine how family care grows, how MCOs are reimbursed, how providers are reimbursed, and what type of services people can receive based on the funding going into it. This is a very important time to get our legislators' ear and make sure they understand how important it is to fund these programs adequately so we can better serve the people that are most important, which is you and the people that you love that are receiving the services. So, thank you.
Some of these politicians this time go one day with one of these athletes, get up, go to work at 8 o'clock, get on at 3:30, come in front of them, 2 or 3 hours, practice, I'd like to see the two politicians follow these guys around for 2 days, 2.5.
Wayne, did you want to close? Thank you very much for that comment. Did you want to close things up?
Yeah, we want to thank everybody for coming. We want to thank our presenters. And if you want to be part of the team, we're meeting on October 23rd. And it's in the handout at Northwood.
Thank you all for coming.
Thank you.